Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. Kody's cryptic blurbs suggest that Robyn does not meet his requirements. Kody Brown changes things up. Fans of Sister Wives have so far learned from Kody Brown's rather cryptic revelations that he doesn't get enough intimate events from one wife. Therefore, if he ever decides to get married again in a polygamous relationship, he suggests that he will look for a stunning wife. While Kody was talking about this, Robyn Brown's grimace on her face seemed to say everything. As a result, it appears that the patriarch of Sister Wives has switched from looking for someone with a good heart to someone who attracts him. We learned last week that he is attempting to seduce Robyn by using the stench that is emanating from his body after a hard workout by moving. Robyn didn't like that. Plus, through these cryptic blurbs that Kody drops, he leads us to believe Robyn is not as attentive to his bedroom needs as he would like. However, why does Robyn Brown permit this? Some of the stuff that this Sister Wives' husband says about Robyn seems humiliating. She wants a polygamous marriage for all the reasons Kody used to preach, but his views have changed over time. He used to play down the nighttime antics he shared with 4 wives. But today an attractive and alluring bride is what Kody says he would go for if they decided to take on another wife. Therefore, it appears that he is preparing for the same behavior with a potential new wife as he did with his previous wives, including Robyn. But most of all, fans want to know why Robyn seemingly sits still through Kody's fantasy of what a new polygamous marriage would have to look like. For him. Sister Wives, Kody and Robyn all about ratings? Robyn Brown appeared to be shielded from any negative remarks from Kody Brown's other wives and children. But now it appears he is doing this himself. He even said that Robyn didn't give him enough to eat in the bedroom. Then after those blurbs about his awful body odor as a turn-on for Robyn, it looked rather embarrassing. But she seemed to accept this shallow thinking, despite rolling her eyes at Kody. Fans are led to believe that Kody Brown and Robyn Brown will stop at nothing to keep Sister Wives going and to keep it all about them. It is not a secret that criticizing Robyn and Kody has grown in popularity among fans. As the video above suggests, Kody's fixation on Robyn borders on the ick factor. He once did this thing with his tongue as if he were licking Robyn's face. But now it seems Kody is hot to trot, but he suggests Robyn isn't. So, maybe they decided to give the fans what they want in an attempt to keep them coming back. So, as Sister Wives Season 20 rolls along, it looks like the viewers get more of what Kody and Robyn have dished out so far. Fans suggest Kody is making a fool of himself and Robyn is being humiliated, but it is all to keep the TLC show alive. Kody Brown's latest cryptic blurbs on Sister Wives have stirred a firestorm among longtime fans of the TLC hit, revealing a subtle but undeniable shift in his tone, desires, and emotional alignment toward Robyn Brown, the only remaining wife in his once sprawling polygamous family. While for years, Kody championed the idea that spiritual connection and shared purpose were the foundation of plural marriage, recent episodes of the series suggest something far more shallow brewing beneath the surface. The Kody we're seeing now appears to be guided by impulse, vanity, and a fixation on physical validation rather than emotional intimacy. It's as if Kody has peeled back a layer of himself that was once veiled by the patriarch preacher persona and revealed a restless man chasing desire in all the wrong places. Fans are picking up on every word, every smirk, and every odd confession he lets slip, particularly those aimed at Robyn, the woman once hailed as his soulmate. Through cryptic comments, lingering glances, and uncomfortable moments that TLC cameras eagerly capture, Kody gives the impression that Robyn no longer fulfills his needs, emotional, physical, or psychological. His statements are often cloaked in coded language, but the implication is unmistakable. Kody Brown, the self-proclaimed head of a family built on spiritual principle, is now a man obsessed with the lack of intimacy in his own home. What's strange is how open he has become about this shift. On camera, he hints that if he were ever to pursue another plural marriage, his criteria wouldn't center around shared faith or character anymore, but attraction and passion, the wow factor, as he calls it. That phrase alone sent a shockwave through the fandom. Once upon a time, Kody's wives believed his heart belonged to God and his mission to build a family that lived in spiritual unity. But hearing him reduce potential future wives to something as superficial as wow factor made even his most loyal defenders cringe. For many viewers, this marked the moment when Kody stopped pretending and let his midlife crisis take over. The man who once rejected lust as a dangerous worldly distraction is now confessing, with a twisted grin, that physical gratification ranks higher on his hierarchy of needs. His statements suggest dissatisfaction, not just with Robyn as a partner, but with the entire idealized version of himself he's been performing for years. And the saddest part? Robyn Brown seems to sense it. When Kody makes these remarks, her face tells a story all on its own. The grimace, the forced smile, the downward glance, they all betray a woman who knows her husband's attention is slipping into self-absorption. She's no longer the center of his universe, she's the mirror reflecting what he's lost. Fans remember when Kody once praised Robyn as the most loyal, the most understanding, and the most spiritual of his wives. But those same fans now see a different narrative unfolding. The tenderness has been replaced with transactional behavior, Kody boasting about his workouts, his sweat, his scent, as if he's trying to spark some primal attraction in Robyn that's long faded. His bizarre attempt to seduce her with his body odor after a moving session became one of the most awkward moments of the season. The way Robyn recoiled slightly and rolled her eyes was pure discomfort. It wasn't the reaction of a woman flattered by her partner's masculine display, but one silently wishing the cameras weren't rolling. That moment exposed a fracture in their dynamic. Kody is trying to reignite chemistry that feels one-sided. The man who once prided himself on his deep emotional connections with his wives now acts like a teenager showing off after gym class. For many viewers, it's tragic, not just because it's unflattering to Kody, but because it feels humiliating for Robyn, who has already endured years of being painted as the villain in the Brown family saga. She was once the woman who stole Kody's heart, but now, ironically, she's the one seemingly left out in the cold while Kody projects his frustrations into the public eye. So, the question fans can't stop asking is this: why is Robyn allowing it? Why is she sitting silently as Kody reduces their marriage to discussions about intimate events and unmet needs? Robyn has always portrayed herself as the peacemaker, the wife who stays grounded in her faith and family. Yet, lately, her silence seems less like calm composure and more like quiet resignation. Perhaps she knows there's no winning in this situation. Speaking up could make her look defensive or controlling. Staying silent, however, paints her as passive and complicit. Either way, Kody's comments come off as cruel, a man publicizing private discontent for the sake of attention or validation. It's hard not to see this as part of the ongoing unraveling of Kody Brown, the patriarch who's lost his wives, his unity, and perhaps even his identity. He seems to be rewriting his own history, framing himself not as the flawed husband whose neglect drove 3 wives away, but as the misunderstood man whose needs were never met. It's a dangerous narrative, especially when filtered through his subtle jabs at Robyn, who once seemed untouchable in his eyes. By painting her as not enough, he shifts public sympathy away from the women he lost, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, and toward his own supposed deprivation. But even as Kody's cryptic remarks hint at dissatisfaction, the deeper irony lies in his hypocrisy. For years, he demanded that his wives put their emotions aside and focus on spiritual principles rather than physical or romantic fulfillment. He expected them to suppress jealousy, loneliness, and desire for the sake of their plural family's higher purpose. Yet now, he is the one lamenting the lack of passion, the absence of excitement, the boredom that creeps into monogamy. It's almost as if Kody is getting a taste of what his wives endured for decades, a life revolving around a man who expected emotional and physical devotion on his terms while offering little in return. The reversal is poetic in a way. Robyn, who once received the lion's share of Kody's attention, now faces the same neglect that Christine and Janelle once described. Fans can't help but notice that the man who accused his ex-wives of failing to be loyal is now airing his own wife's shortcomings like dirty laundry. It's a stunning fall from grace for a man who once demanded privacy and reverence for his marriage. Some Sister Wives viewers believe this new behavior isn't purely emotional, they suspect it's strategic. TLC thrives on drama, and Kody knows that controversy keeps the cameras rolling. With Christine and Janelle gone, and Meri fading into her independent ventures, the spotlight rests solely on Kody and Robyn. To keep the show alive, they may be leaning into their own dysfunction. Kody's cryptic blurbs about intimacy, attraction, and unmet needs could be his way of manufacturing conflict now that the plural dynamic has dissolved. After all, what's sister wives without tension? What's left to film when 3 wives have walked away, and only one remains? If Kody and Robyn are indeed playing into this, they're walking a fine line between entertainment and emotional exploitation. Fans already view them as the least relatable couple on the show, and these scenes only reinforce that perception. Watching Kody make suggestive comments while Robyn sits tight-lipped feels less like reality TV and more like performance, a desperate act to sustain relevance. However, some fans think there's something more raw, more genuine beneath the surface. Kody's comments may not be for show, they may reveal a man spiraling from rejection and trying to reassert control through the only arena left, his physicality. The loss of his other wives bruised his ego deeply. Christine's public happiness with David Woolley, Janelle's independence, and Meri's quiet reinvention all signal that the women who once needed him have learned to thrive without him. That leaves Kody with one remaining partner, Robyn, whose devotion was once his greatest triumph but now feels like a mirror of his failures. When he speaks about needing wow factor or more intimacy, it's possible he's expressing insecurity rather than desire. He needs to feel wanted again, and Robyn's exhaustion.